1 in 3. That's how many American men will face physical violence, sexual assault, or stalking by an intimate partner. 1 in 3 women worldwide will endure physical or sexual abuse, most often by someone they know. But domestic abuse isn't just bruises. It's manipulation, it's fear, it's control that seeps into every part of your life. I'm Ingrid Dutton, and I survived it. Then I created 1 in 3 so no one else has to suffer in silence. Each week, we break that silence together. Occasionally joined by survivors, loved ones, and experts, we talk about the pain, yes, but also about the healing, resilience, and the fight to reclaim your life. This podcast is more than awareness, it's a lifeline. And a reminder, you are seen, you are heard, you are never alone. Search for 1 in 3 wherever you get your podcasts, because every voice matters and every story deserves to be heard.
Like blue jeans and rock and roll, the rest of the world, including the Italians, picked up on pizza just because it was American. John Mariani, food critic.
Blue jeans and rock and roll.
And Bruce Springsteen.
The boss.
Mm-hmm. Hi, sister.
Hi, Jessica.
Oh, hi, Ingrid.
Welcome to another situation.
Yes, it is. It's another one. So we were having internet problems and our internet both froze and Ingrid was making a stupid face and I was making a stupid face. And like true a-hole sisters, we took pictures of each other.
And texted them to each other at the same time.
Immediately.
So anyway, are we talking about blue jeans? Or rock and roll? Rock and roll.
Or
baby.
Italians or pizza. Which one could it be?
I like all the topics.
Well, let's see if you can guess it from my sources. Wikipedia, ding, Britannica, BBC, History, and The Culture Trip. Okay, so are you ready?
I'm ready. Are you ready?
I do. I feel like there was a something I needed to address, but I can't remember what it is, so that's okay.
Oh, there's something I do need to address. And
Okay.
And that is, I don't want to watch The Omen with you.
Yeah.
And dear friends listening, I love scary movies. And I don't know what it was, but it terrified the bejesuses out of me. And I started editing at night by myself one night. I freaked myself out and I stopped. And I tried doing it during the day and I still freaked myself out and I stopped. And then I finally decided I cannot watch The Omen. But Michelle said that you shouldn't do it.
Yes, I did. And she did, And Michelle, I hear you and I agree with you. But at the same time, I still want to. So sorry, one last detour before I get to my topic. But I was looking up houses because of where we're going to live once my husband gets out of the Navy. So there's a house in Bishop, Georgia. It was built in 1906. And the first thing I thought of was, oh my God, awesome. I bet it's haunted. These are houses that I want to move my family to. So there might be something wrong with me.
No, they won't. Not when you walk into your daughter's bedroom and she's staring at the ceiling at the corner and is talking about what's sitting there. Or that your son is playing with a new toy and says the little boy who lives in his room gave it to him.
I know, but it's a nice southern house and it's beautiful and it's on 5 acres. It has great schools.
Civil War. Slavery.
I'm very well aware of the history of Georgia. think, well, I'm not very well aware, but I'm aware.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure it won't be on the market in 3 years, but I just thought I'd share that.
It will be if it's haunted.
That was my first thought. 1906, I bet that's haunted. I'm going to live there with my children. Yes.
Okay.
Anyways.
Well, we're done with the scary topics. We did 2 weeks of those already. So let's get to blue jeans and rock and roll.
So we're actually talking about the fourth option, not Italians, blue jeans, or rock and roll. We're going to talk about pizza.
Okay, let's talk about pizza.
Let's talk about some pizza. Pizza has a history almost as long as human civilization. It goes back to flatbreads being made by ancient Egyptians, Romans, and Greeks. The Greek version was more similar to today's focaccia bread, which is absolutely delicious. Per History.com, the modern birthplace of pizza is from the southwest region of Campania in Italy. Naples is in this region. Naples came to be as a Greek, there shouldn't be a period there. There's a period. Oy. As a Greek settlement around 600 BC. Fast forward to 17 and 1800s, and Naples grew into a prosperous waterfront city. The people of Naples were known to be working poor, or lazzarone is the Italian word for that. Probably said it wrong. The closer you moved to the shore, people were living in more denser areas. They were also known to live mostly outdoors, with their houses being a little more than one room. The people needed a quick, inexpensive food so they could cook easily and then, go back to work. Pizza was the answer. Some snooty, and I use that word for mother, some snooty Italian authors called the Neapolitans' eating habits, quote unquote, disgusting. Their pizzas were topped with cheese, tomatoes, oil, anchovies, and garlic, which actually sounds delicious. Anchovies are just salty. A lot of people are turned off, but they're just a salty kind of little fish. In 1861, Italy became unified. In 1889, the King and Queen of Italy visited Naples. Per tales, the duo grew tired of the French cuisine everywhere and asked for some pizza. The Queen ate a pizza mozzarella, which was a pizza topped with soft white cheese, red tomatoes, and green basil. Does that sound familiar at all? This type of pizza was later named after this queen, who was named
Marguerite.
Margarita. Her name was Margarita, yes, and is now known as a Margarita pizza. Even though the queen gave her approval, pizza still wasn't a known Italian dish until the 1940s. In the United States, immigrants from Naples moved to New York, Boston, Chicago, Trenton, and St. Louis. St. Louis. They're not a flea. Anyways, these immigrants brought their ways of cooking and tradition with them, to include making pizza. One of the first documented pizzerias was G. Lombardi's in Manhattan, who became licensed to sell in 1905. Prior to pizzerias, pizzas were still made at home or by unlicensed vendors. Fun fact, Lombardi's is still in operation. So if you ever go to New York, check out a Lombardi's pizza. So how did they become so popular still, these pizzas? That's just Naples in New York. In comes, I am so weird when I write sometimes, oh my goodness. In comes World War II. The popularity of pizza boomed like the boomers. Instead of being seen as a quote-unquote ethnic treat, it began to be seen as fast fun food. With this popularity came different variations of the Neapolitan treat, to include California gourmet and deep dish. So, this is what this episode's about. The deep dish pizza, or also known as Chicago-style pizza, was created in 1940 in the Windy City itself. Hence the name. What is a deep dish pizza? The main gist of it is it includes a high edge crust, which allows for a lot of goodness, to include cheese and chunky tomato sauce. My mouth is watering. Oh my gosh. To avoid burning the cheese, the creators decided to invert the toppings, so the cheese is not on top. The dough is first loaded with cheese, normally mozzarella, then meat, vegetables, and and finally glugs. I don't know what that word's supposed to be. What is a glug? And finally glugs of tomato sauce spooned on top. What the hell is a glug? Oh, I have no idea. I have no idea what the word's supposed to be. Okay. My favorite one has a literal disc of sausage covering every inch of the inside of the crust.
I was so hoping you were going to talk about the disc of sausage.
Of course I was. That is honestly my favorite Chicago deep dish. It's so freaking good because there's sausage in every bite. I still want to know what glug is supposed to be, though. Glug of tomato sauce. Okay. The origin of the deep dish is confirmed to be in Chicago. I think I already said that. However, who created it is debatable. One source says that Pizzeria Uno, and that is now called Uno Chicago Grill, created the first one in 1943. The founders, Ike Sewell and Rick Ricardo, two Italian descendants, were given credit for the recipe. However, in 1956, this claim was disputed and credit was given to Rudy Malnati, who is a pizza chef at Pizzeria Uno when it first opened. So another claim is to being the first. Another claim to being the first goes to Rosati's Authentic Chicago Pizza, who is said to have had the deep dish on their menu since 1926. So a particularly muddled detail involves one of Chicago's most famous pizza families, the Malnatis. Adolfo Rudy Malnati Sr., who was the chef at Pizzeria Uno, claimed that it was his spark of genius that created the recipe. He and Rick Ricardo, according to the Malnati family, would hand out slices of Pizzeria Uno's deep dish on Chicago street corners in the hopes that passerbyers would give it a taste. Sewell, Ike Sewell, who's also the other owner, the Malnatis. What? Sewell came later, according to the Malnatis. Records of either Sewell or Ricardo making pizza or even showing any ability in the kitchen are not there. So there's no proof that Ricardo or Sewell ever were in the kitchen making pizza. So according to the Malnati storyline, after Ricardo's death, Rudy, which is the first chef of Pizzeria Uno, and his son Lou co-managed Pizzeria Uno until Rudy Malnati Sr. also passed away. Lou struggled to find his place in the restaurant after being told he was just an employee like everyone else. Frustrated, he abandoned ship to open his own restaurant in 1971, Lou Malnati's Pizzeria in the North Shore. Yes.
I was going to say Lou Malnati's.
Lou Malnati's. You got it. Lou Malnati's Pizzeria was quick to find success and has spread locations throughout Chicago and its suburbs. The pizza is noticeably less dense than Pizzeria Uno's, with a lighter hand of cheese and tangier crushed tomatoes. The pizza is filled just below the crust edge, leaving more room for its trademarked butter crust. Oh my gosh, my mouth is watering again.
This happened when you were talking about butter during the Mardi Gras episode.
It's unintentional. I don't know how to stop that.
You have Pavloved yourself into drooling at the mention of butter.
Oh, gosh. If anyone, now everyone knows that. We can test that. We'll test that in Nashville when we're there. Just say butter and see if I start salivating. The plot does continue. Lou Malnati had a half-brother, Rudy Jr., who opened his own joint, Pisano's, in 1991 in downtown Chicago. A waiter at Pisano's divulged that Rudy and Lou's mother, Donna Marie, gave Rudy Jr. the original recipe developed by Rudy Sr. himself. So we know who the favorite son was. Anyways, so while Lou went off to Lincolnwood, Donna Marie spent her nights in the kitchen rolling out dough from the secret recipe at Pisano's. Who's using the original recipe today remains a point of debate. Here at Pisano's, the crust is lighter, a brilliantly buttery pie crust with a golden caramelized outer layer given into a flaky, crumbly interior. The crust crawls high on the pizza pan, but the filling, like at Lou's, is modest and of quality. Slices of Wisconsin mozzarella are topped with a garlicky, yet subtly sweet tomato sauce, and the fresh basil and homemade sausage pack-a-punch. We can't talk about deep dish pizza without mentioning Gino's East. Opened in 1966, this is the second oldest deep dish spot in town after Pizzeria Uno. The founders, Sam Levine and Fred Bartoli, hired former Uno cook Alice May Redman and her sister Ruth Hadley to run their kitchen with nearly instantaneous success. Today, the original spot still stands, famous for their wood and stucco walls covered in graffiti, courtesy of the decades of patron scribbles. I think that's where we went when I was on break from boot camp. I think that's the pizza place we went to.
We went to Quonset Hut.
We did?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Good memory for you. So Chicago streets are dotted with deep dish, thin crisp, artisanal, and wood-fired pizzas. To taste them all, you can book a tour. And Chicago Pizza Tours has a bus called Dough Force One. Get it? Dough Force. So that bus goes all over Chicago, which is, I would want to go just for that reason. So if you're going to Chicago, some of the best pizzerias that I have found: Gino's East, Pisano's, and I didn't talk about these last two, Delisi's and Luisa's Pizza.
You didn't mention Lou Malnati's.
Well, it is supposed to be one of the best, but all the resources I had did not put it continuously as the best. Gino's East actually was mostly mentioned.
Oh.
Yeah, which I think Lou Malnati's is the one that you can get shipped to you. Yes. That's my favorite.
Yes. The disco. She's salivating again.
I was.
I wish I could say I'm joking, but I'm not.
So that is the story of the deep dish pizza. So go grab a slice.
Yes. And let's do B's.
Be deep.
Be cheesy.
Wisconsin mozzarella cheesy. Don't be snooty over saying that Neapolitan that Neapolitans have disgusting eating habits. Don't be snooty.
Don't be a glug.
Oh, that's making me cry. Don't be a glug.
Okay, then. We'll be back with more food next week.
Yes, and Lou Malnati's, if you want to sponsor us. Hopefully, or Gino's.
Lou is not going to, because you didn't include them in the latest list.
Well, I would include them as the definitely top 5.
Okay. All right. Bye. Ciao.
Bye.
Ciao.
Ciao. Ciao, Bella.
If you'd like to reach out to us or submit your situation, please contact us at anothersituationpodcast@gmail.com or find us on Instagram at Another Situation Podcast. We're also on Facebook at Another Situation.
Another Situation is produced and edited by Point 5 Pinoy. Music is written and performed by Tim Crow.